What's up, everybody? It's about 12:30 Eastern. About 30 minutes ago, Raven weirdly released an update to Warzone that did a little bit of weapon balancing. Not quite what we were hoping for. We didn't get to see a combat shotgun nerf yet. We didn't really see an increase in recoil control or an increase in damage range or some of the stuff that we're kind of looking for Vanguard guns. But we did get some weapon balancing, so I'm going to go ahead and cover all that here. They also fixed some collision issues with various elements, allowing players to exploit or peek through them, and fixed players getting access to items that they weren't supposed to see yet. Weapon adjustments. The AK-47 Cold War initial recoil deviation increased, so I'm assuming that's the jump from when you first start firing. They said, we do not believe the AK-47 Cold War is imbalanced. However, we want to stay on top of weapons that have a consistently fast time to kill by ensuring their handling and behavior is consistent with other similarly effective weapons. EM2 got kind of a big nerf. The neck damage multiplier was decreased down to 1.1 from 1.2. The magnitude on the recoil was increased, so now the stronger recoil, and the deviation was also increased. It says the EM2 has exerted an impressive level of dominance over the long-range engagement space since its debut. Generally, this can happen when weapons' time to kill potential is not met with adequate downsides. Slow-firing weapons like the EM2 naturally lend themselves to higher-skilled players, as missed shots are far more detrimental. In the case of the EM2, we felt its mechanical input was not equivalent to its output. We have adjusted its recoil behavior such that it will require more active recoil countering. We are also reducing its neck multiplier, which will affect some of its realistic TTK breakpoints while leaving its actual TTK potential unchanged. So really, we're mostly worried about the recoil changing that might make it less dominant, and then if you're hitting neck shots as opposed to headshots. Crossbow got a buff, but people don't really use that. But if you use the Modern Warfare crossbow, they did increase the damage up to 250, so it's an instant down if you hit them in the neck. Upper torso damage is 240, and lower torso damage is 220, all up from 200. So not an instant down, but if you use the explosive or the thermite round, it was already a down anyways, and now it's definitely a down. Marksman Rifle Charlie, which is a sniper, flinch resistance decreased by 62% or flinch increased by 62%. The Marksman Rifle Charlie and the Swiss K31s have benefited greatly from heavily reduced flinch, an attribute which has been exclusive to aggressive snipers for quite some time. A considerable reduction to their base flinch resistance will require some acclimation, as veteran snipers will find that they can no longer challenge assault rifles as consistently while sustaining fire in long-range engagements. It's not going to be a big deal for the best of the best, but it'll be worse for people who are not that streamer pro level and below. I think it'll be more of a problem. But people who are really good at quickscoping and sniping, like your favorite streamers and competitors, I don't think it will make much of a difference. R1 Shadow Hunter or the crossbow for Cold War, same buff as the crossbow from Modern Warfare. The crossbow and R1 Shadow Hunter have not received much attention since they landed in the Warzone. We are aiming to optimize their effectiveness without inadvertently creating all-out aero warfare on Caldera. That would be fun, though. Melee Ballistic Knife got a pretty big buff with damages. Similar to the crossbow and Shadow Hunter, we are increasing the effectiveness of Ballistic Knife. A single well-aimed piece of tactical equipment can put an enemy within one-shot range to the upper torso, creating a surprising 1-2 punch. Baseball bat, battle axe, cane, mace all had lunge decrease. Shotgun Bravo, or the Gallo, had its movement speed decreased by another 1.2%, and its ADS move speed decreased by 8.6%. With its inherent Cold War mobility and generous magazine sizes, the Gallo has remained a force to be reckoned with despite receiving several balance changes. Reducing the Shotgun Bravo's mobility will make it more susceptible to the downsides one would expect from weapons in its class. Without the mobility to quickly close the gap into its maximum damage range, the Shotgun Bravo will become a more equitable selection. Swiss, we saw flinch decrease by 62%. OTS, maximum damage decreased from 30 down from 31. Headshot damage multiplier decreased to 1.33 down from 1.52. So, to me, really, that just, you would think would be, okay, now it's MP5 time. But the next one is the MP5 nerf, similar, except now it's all the way down to 20 instead of 30, and the multiplier is down to 1.41 instead of 1.45. This kind of tells me these two are kind of nerfed into the ground, and they're making way for SMGs from Vanguard. Submachine Gun Charlie, which is the Modern Warfare MP5, fire rate decreased to 0.08 down from 0.075. Sprint to fire speed decreased, and note these changes only affect Warzone. The OTS has ruled over the short-range space for some time, and changes to it will surely come as no surprise. As a preemptive measure, we will also be adjusting several weapons that have been waiting in the wings to take its place once dethroned. While it's sad to see our favorite weapons take a hit to their effectiveness, we feel the pool of viable short-range weapons will benefit from this anticipatory adjustment. Note, an imminent update will further address Bloom and included adjustments to weapons, including the PPSH from Vanguard. Yeah, the PPSH is really strong right now. Optic from Vanguard, the 2.5 for assault rifles, eye position shifted forward. The 2.5X has become the preferred optic across Caldera. By shifting the position forward, we are creating a greater area of magnification, which will better assist in carving out its identity. So I'm going to start trying that one now. I had been trying to use the 3.5 rifled, and I was going to start trying the 3x6 because I didn't think 2.5 was enough. But because the eye position was shifted forward, we're going to get more of a zoom on the 2.5, and I'm definitely going to start trying that one out. Raider stock movement speed modifiers decreased by 25%. SAS combat stock movement speed modifiers decreased by 25%. It's a pretty big nerf to the movement of the Cold War weapons. But a lot of people like myself had stopped running stocks in general in favor of the Tiger Team Spotlight and the Bruiser Grip. So not really a big deal for me at all. Warzone is a living, breathing, ever-evolving game. This demands that we not only regularly reflect on the precise weapon details, but that we also at times take great pause to assess the state of the game holistically. Games that progressively introduce content like Warzone run the risk of experiencing power creep. It is important that intermittently we compress the power level of certain aspects in the game that may be at risk of endangering the greater balance. We believe that the influx of a considerable amount of content is a most opportune time, aka we want to make you use Vanguard guns, during which we feel it is appropriate to adjust the most powerful mobility attachments in Warzone. The sheer existence of these attachments significantly warps not just this attachment category for Cold War weapons, but also requires that any future weapon that intends to identify as highly mobile must contest these values as a baseline. This dynamic forces the power level to slowly rise over time, which in turn must elicit a correction. This change will not be the last in addressing weapon attributes that reach a peak in power that must be compressed to preserve our delicate ecosystem. That's it for the update for December 9th for the West Coast / December 10th for the East Coast. Any other weapon changes coming up, like the note here saying the further to address Bloom and weapons including the PPSH, I will definitely make sure to cover. As always, I will have the patch notes linked down below in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more. Tell me what you think below of the weapon changes. And as usual, with this linked, I will also have my social medias linked, so please feel free to visit those. But I will see you on Caldera and in about a week on Rebirth Island. Get frying. Have a good day. Bye.